Hello, everyone. Hello, Elion. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. We need to speak with Minfilia. Yes, Tataros is ready to express her fright as she used to express everything else. Not all of us are forged of the same steel as you, I'm afraid. But it takes all kinds to make a family, and it pleases me to no end to see ours continue to grow. One by one, the people of Eosia are beginning to unite, Elion, drawn to the hope that shines within you. We're important, yet a darkness threatens to engulf this light. Never have I doubted the Ascians' presence, but that they have grown so brazen as to carry out their work in plain sight fills me with a sense of deep foreboding. Yes, it's all concerning, but we're a hero. What's this? We got achievement! What we get? Complete the main scenario quest back from the wood. Okay, apparently this was an important one. I guess it was the end of an arc, maybe? I don't know. But now we have to investigate Lahabrea. Of course we do. Yes, this is the next leg of the journey. I'm afraid there is no rest for the weary, Elion. We must delve further into the motivations of the masked man, the Ascian known as Lahabrea. This is an ideal moment to do so, while our hands are not bound dealing with another primal. At present, we know little and less about the Ascians, only that destruction follows in their wake. I should not be surprised if these beings are behind the chaos that racks the realm. If my fears prove to be reality, we must do all in our power to stop them. Earlier, I sent word to each Grand Company to solicit cooperation. The Immortal Flames responded to the effect that they have information on a potential sighting. This is intelligence that we can ill afford to ignore. Go speak with Flame Commander Swift at the Hall of Flames in Ul'dah to inquire further. How you go about the investigation thereafter, I leave wholly to your discretion. But whatever you do, never forget that we're dealing with the unknown. You cannot take too many precautions. Be safe, Elion. I think I should be fine. My collar will protect me. God, that's such a ridiculous collar. I love it. Okay, so we're heading back to Ul'dah, our home base. We need to talk to one of the commanders of our own Grand Company and hopefully unravel this mystery. We can only hope. So, I think we need to exit this place before we can teleport, so I'll do that. Vespa Bay it is! Then we'll go see what we see, and do what we do, and kill what we kill, or something. That'll be fine. Alright! Loading? Is it loading, Precious? Yes, it is. Okay, so teleport, and we want Ul'dah. And we'll use up the last of these and get them out of Elion's inventory. We don't need those tickets anymore. Alright, here we are. Now we need to go right over here. Looks like the Flames headquarters are right next to our destination. Or they are our destination right next to where we materialized. I know how to words. Hello, Swift. The masked man. Ah, you are come on behalf of the Scions, of course. Yes, as we've already relayed to Lady Minfilia, there's been a sighting of this rogue near Eastern Thanalin. A brass blade stationed at Highbridge described him in detail when he alerted us to suspicious activity. I would point you to the witness, but I'm afraid he died not 2 days ago, slain by a marauding horde of Kikirn. Fate can be a cruel mistress. But do not be too quick to despair. Being situated on a trade route, Highbridge sees its fair share of travelers. Folk are always coming and going, and some among them may well have caught a glimpse of your target. You could do worse than to speak with a merchant named Hihibaru. The fellow's always starved for customers, and he'd no doubt welcome your attention, whether or not you have coin or the mind to spend it. Alright, we need to talk to a merchant, and by the sound of his name, he's a little Lalafell like us. Granted, Elion's name does not follow Lalafell name conventions. They do exist, I checked. Unfortunately, well, that's just how things work. He's too ingrained now. This is the 48th video. I mean, I can't very well change his name now. It's been years! Anyway, let's mount up and do this quick-like. Off we go on our horse woven of destruction and devastation and bad direction. We'll be fine. Yes, yes. Off we go. "48 videos. By the end of this week, we should have hit 50, in fact. And that feels like a very big deal to me. This series has been my longest going, and it probably will stay that way. And, yeah, I'm really excited with the way this is going. I hope you're enjoying it as well. I try not to be too absolutely insane. Let's see what Hihibaru has to say. Welcome to Highbridge, adventurer. Whatever you seek, I, Hihibaru, can provide it. Probably. You're after a masked man. I'm not sure I have one of those in stock. Oh, you're after a masked man. Why didn't you say so sooner? Such an individual might have featured in one of the many rumors I've heard. If you linger a while, mayhap you'll learn a thing or two, Right. Sure. Alright. And, okay, enough lingering. When the Order of Naud Thal began excavating the ruins below, I'd hopes that Highbridge would turn into a bustling hub for pilgrims. But, thanks to nigh endless beastman raids, folk are too afraid to come within a mile of here. I sold everything I owned to get my venture started, and I'm loath to give up without making an earnest effort to stick it out. But if things keep going as they are, I'll be bankrupt before the moon is through. Whining won't do me any good, though. No, for my business to survive, I need business. Speaking of which, perhaps you'd like to browse my wares. Spend a bit of coin to help a struggling merchant. The masked man. Well, I'll take your bloody masked man. I know what I said before, but vague rumors are all I've got. If you want to know about him, go and ask the other merchants. Well, fine. I can sulk too. We'll just talk to those other merchants and see what they have to say. Aye, I've heard tell of the masked devil. Seems he's been appearing not only around Highbridge, but elsewhere around Thanlin too. Enough folk have reported seeing him to convince me he's more than a figment of the imagination, but little is known about him otherwise. Well, what we got from that is he's real. Excellent. We're on the road to somewhere. Who's left? I bet this is why it's called High Bridge. Look at how high this bridge is. On the trail of a masked man. Aye, I've heard of him, but only in hushed tones and faint whispers. It said he wears a black hooded robe and looks right suspicious. And that's about all I can say, little though it is. Alright. So basically all we know now is he's real and he wears black. That really boils it down. Yes, black clothing and existence really hammers it home. What about you? Have I seen a masked man wearing a dark robe? No, I haven't. Nor do I wish to. Business is bad enough without shady characters lurking about. Folk have been giving High Bridge a wide berth because of all the Kakian raids. None but the most devout of pilgrims are willing to come out here anymore. Someone's not happy. Well, fine. He wears black, he exists, and that dude hasn't seen him. Let's see here. We've completed the quest, I suppose. Sure, why not? Alright. Judging by your expression, I take it you didn't learn much of use. Look, I'm sorry for my rudeness earlier. It's just that things are tough for us merchants at the moment. The Kakian raids are so constant, so organized, we're beginning to suspect that someone is orchestrating it all. I tend to put my own welfare first, like most of us do, but that doesn't mean I'm a bad person. I promise to keep an eye out for your masked man. If I see or hear anything, you'll be the first to know. Okay. Did you see him yet? 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 Ah, the investigative adventurer. Are you still on the trail of that masked man by any chance? I happen to remember something and would share it with you. You'll recall my telling you how the Kakian have been raiding High Bridge nigh without cease. Well, there's a rumor that those filthy rats have been meeting with a great hulk of a man in secret. Well, I can't say whether this is the mystery fellow you seek. I reckon it's as good a lead as any other. According to witnesses, the rendezvous takes place in the Kakian lair, located southeast of here. If you go there, perhaps you'll come upon some kind of clue. Be careful, though. The nasty buggers don't take kindly to visitors. I don't know. Marauders and raiders sound perfectly fine to me. Let's put a hat on. We're ready for battle now. And head off to this Kakian lair. Let's see. What might we find there? I hope it's a clue. One nice thing about games, though, is that there's always some way to move forward. We know this quest will lead us forward no matter what we actually find. Now, this is something that getting myself to level 50 has changed about the playthrough that unfortunately will limit its usefulness as a walkthrough of the game. These monsters are around the level that you'd worry about them if you were just leveling normally, but for me being 50, I'm like 24 levels higher than they aren't going to bother me. So I can just run right through the camp and not have any trouble whatsoever. If you're playing along and you're at a normal, let's call it reasonable level, then obviously you'll have to do some fighting here. But like I said, I want to avoid any issues like we found with Lahabrea and his introductory cutscene that was missed because the dungeon was going so quickly. So I want to see if I can't do some dungeons alone, by myself, on my own terms. You can go in with undersized parties, and I hope that this level jump will be enough to get us through there. We'll find out, I suppose, when we get there. For now, though, we found a letter! We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from. So, did you end up investigating the Cairn lair? Indeed we did. A letter you can't make heads or tails of. Let me see here. This is written in Amaljic. Well, you're in luck. It just so happens I learned a spot of it back in the day, so as to expand my potential clientele. Seems the contents pertain to people trafficking. Gods be good. If I'm reading this right, the Cairn are trying to strike a deal with the Amalja. They mean to catch helpless souls at Highbridge and sell them off like sacks of popotos. To think the different tribes of beastmen are colluding in their villainy. I must warn everyone to maintain vigilance. You have my thanks, adventurer. Had you not braved the Cairn lair, no one here would have known what the creatures were plotting until they actually began picking us off one by one. On the other hand, I suppose this means you're no closer to finding your man. Well, unless it's an Amalja you're looking for, but, probably not, no. I don't believe it is. We're gonna pick up that next quest next time. For now, we're gonna cut the video here and let Elion sit here and ruminate on the things he's learned. But I hope you enjoyed this 48th video. See you next time for 49, and hopefully by Friday, as of this recording, we'll have 50. Bye-bye, Elion.